Today we've got good news and bad news when it comes to taxes that are being imposed on cruise passengers. We're also going to talk about some good financial news, and I've got a warning for you in a way that you can help if you happen to be in the right place at the right time. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday. It is May 7th of 2025. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please click on that subscribe button? And if you appreciate our updates, please give this video a thumbs up. We talk about everything cruising around here and cruising to travel, and would love to have you be part of the conversation. So let's start at the top with the good news and the bad news about taxes. So some of you might remember some time ago when Mexico said that we are going to start charging, and it's going to be security related, a tax on all of the cruise passengers who come to Mexico. Now, at that time, they said it was going to be $42. Well, I have seen updates today that Cruise Lines International Association has announced that instead of that $42 tax, they are going to be charging $5. It's going to start on July 1st of 2026 per passenger. And then what they're going to do is increase it in the future. So in 2026, it's going to go to $10 a passenger, and in 2027, it's going to go to $21 per passenger. And my understanding is it is not per cruise port. It is per time that you come to Mexico. So you're taking a cruise to Mexico, you get charged one time rather than for every single port that you visit. So I thought that was great news, much lower than we expected. And I really feel like if they use that money the way they say they're going to use that to make sure the port area is safe and help with things like that, I think that would be money well spent. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next up, Hawaii. So Hawaii for a long time has had like hotel taxes and timeshare taxes, all of these kind of things that we're used to hearing about. But they have just voted to increase those taxes somewhat and to implement a cruise passenger tax. The really big thing that is a difference about the way Hawaii is doing it compared to the way Mexico is doing it and a lot of other places is it is actually a percent. It is a percent of how much your cruise bill was, and it is prorated by the number of days that you were in a Hawaiian port during the length of your cruise. And so if you have a really long cruise, think of like those long ones that go from LA down to Sydney, or your 30-day South Pacific cruise that you've got one call in the port in a port in Hawaii, that cruise tax is not going to be very much compared to the cruise ships that go lots of days in Hawaii. So I think one of the places we are really going to see this hit is on those cruises on Pride of the America there, because you not only leave from a port in Hawaii, you visit all of these ports, and you return to a port in Hawaii. Those are magnificent cruises, a great way to see Hawaii, but clearly they're going to be hit the hardest, followed by, like I said, the other cruises that stop in Hawaii. So we'll all stay up to date with that, but I thought it was really interesting, an 11% tax on your cruise fare. It's really interesting. So we're going to have to see how that shakes out. So any of you who end up going on a cruise to Hawaii and seeing that showing up on your bill, let us know. Now in Hawaii, they say that they are going to use it for things like replenishing stand on Waikiki Beach, clearing flammable invasive grasses like the ones that were burning when they had that fire in Lahaina in 2023 that I think we all remember really well. And so, we'll just keep an eye, see how this comes up. So does this impact your desire to go to Hawaii on a cruise? Really an interesting thought. So when it comes to me going to Hawaii on a cruise, I am more interested, I know I am more interested in taking one like round trip from Los Angeles, round trip from San Francisco, enjoying all of those beautiful sea days, having a few days in Hawaii, and coming back home again. I've been to Hawaii 2 times and done touring there, so I don't know that I really need to do a lot of touring aside from going on a cruise there, but let me know what you all think about Hawaii, okay? Next up, this is really exciting news in the business world. Now, tomorrow, unless something else big comes up, I am going to talk to you about what I am looking to see based on what the three main cruise lines here in the United States reported in their Q1 2025 reports. So stick with me, because there's a lot that you can look at these reports and kind of think about what's going to happen, and we're going to do that together. So Royal Caribbean has announced today that they are going to pay a 75 cents per share dividend to their shareholders who hold Royal Caribbean stock. Now, what's the date of record? It's going to be June 4th of 2025. So if you want to buy some Royal Caribbean stock in time to earn that dividend, do it by June 4th. And they will be paying that on July 3rd of 2025. And so if you're holding Royal Caribbean stock, you might want to hold it that much longer, depending on what your investment goals are, so that you can get that dividend. But I thought it was really exciting. In February, they declared another 75-cent dividend that was on 2024. And in December, they declared a 55 cents dividend that was on the quarter before. And finally, they declared a 40-cent dividend in July. So clearly, things are looking up. Really excited about that. Now, what do we need to talk about? So here is the story. And I don't usually talk about things here, but I followed this story really closely because it struck me so much, and it probably struck all of you as well. So MSC Virtuosa, sailing from Southampton on a quick 2-day cruise. They leave the port there. They're going over there to Zeebrugge in Belgium. And by the time they arrive over in Zeebrugge in Belgium, there are ambulances and police meeting the ship. Well, what has happened? Apparently there was an altercation. That's a fancy word for a fight. And during that altercation, one gentleman killed another, if you can believe it. And so they arrested a 57-year-old man for killing a 60-year-old man. It's really interesting. There were not eyewitnesses to this that they're aware of. And so in a minute, I'm going to tell you how to help with that if you happen to be on that ship. But there's a lady who was on board the ship. Her name is Celia Kelly. And she said they were on board with her family to celebrate her grandmother's 80th birthday. And she was saying that it seemed like there were a lot of people that had the drinks package that you could just drink as much as you wanted. And I really appreciated how she said, in her own words, she said, it seemed most people had the drinks package where you could just basically keep drinking. It wasn't as quiet or refined as a normal cruise. She just said they didn't see any trouble going on, just groups of people having a fun time. But like I said, by the time they arrived there in Belgium, the police were there because security on the ship and the crew had let them know what was going on. Because there clearly have not been a lot of eyewitnesses to what is going on, the police there are asking for some help. And so if you happen to be on board and have any information that could help the police, they actually want you to call Hampshire, to contact Hampshire and the Isle of Wight Constabulary at 101. And I'm going to tell you the reference number here in case you happen to be there, 4425019366. Although I'm sure if you called the police there in the United Kingdom, in England there, and let them know that you witnessed something, you wouldn't even have to tell them that number. It makes me really sad that people would go on a cruise and one person would kill another person. But to me, it's really a reminder to watch who I'm being around when I'm on a ship. And you have to constantly, whether you're on a ship or anywhere else in public, you constantly have to be aware of what's going on around you. And so keep an eye, and if people start doing things they shouldn't do, or you see people that are not happy with each other, I would say do two things. Number one, hurry up and move away from that location and call for help from security at the same time, because security's job is to keep part of their job is to keep everyone safe. And when people do start fighting, is to get them to stop fighting and to hopefully keep people from hurting each other. So just wanted to put this out there. If you've ever been on a cruise ship and seen a fight going on, it is becoming all too common. That's why I don't talk about very often, because I find it really sad that people treat each other that way. And so let me know in the comments if you've ever been on a ship where this has happened, if you've got anything else to share with the group here that I haven't mentioned. That will help all of us. And definitely 100% our thoughts and prayers are with the gentleman, both gentlemen's family. It's got to be so hard, of course, for the gentleman who was killed during the cruise, but for the gentleman who did the killing, that's got to be really hard on his family. And so our thoughts and prayers are with them. And I know yours are too. So thanks for joining me here today. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.